All right, welcome back, YouTube fam. Well, as you saw from the previous upload, I went pretty quick. Some people said that I was talking too much, and in this upload, I'm just going to do a little bit of explanation of what has been done here. The foam has been sprayed in, and I've gone ahead and drilled everything out. I've grinded down and sanded all of the edges all the way around. We're basically going to, long story short, build all this up and basically fill in the foam space that we have created. You know, I just scraped it off the bottom of Buck Elastic side skirt that was on the car, and then we separated that. We know that this is the exact gap that is needed in order to fill the void. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to trim this one up just like the other one is, cut it back so that we can actually start building a shelf all the way around with the same material all the way around, you know, so it's nice and flush. And then what's good is the foam doesn't weigh anything, so we can just keep it in there, especially when it's that thin. So we're going to trim it up, and we know that this is the proper thickness here, so I've got to take just a sliver off of this outside edge so that when I lay it on there, it's still the same thickness. So with that said, we'll move on to doing that. I've already cut out a whole bunch of the mesh. Everything's ready to go, so I can just lay it right on there and then start laying in the 2-part epoxy for the seam. And we'll get it all seamed in here. I've got it all drilled out so it will seep into all the holes and grab in just like it's supposed to be done, just like a nice SEM repair, a nice plastic repair. So with that said, stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of work. Well, let's let that cure, let that dry, and we should be all set. You saw from the previous upload that I went ahead, peeled all the tape off. This way I can actually see the body lines a lot better. I want to make sure that there's no significant changes that I'm going to have to make, etc. Everything looks really good. I'm really happy with it. Sorry about the fan noise in the background, but it's hot. Got to have the AC and the fans on today. The only thing I did notice is I do have a high spot here. You can see it is generally higher than the OEM panel itself. So I want to be able to transition this in. So I'm going to have to get in here with a grinder, and I'm going to grind all this portion out. Even if I get into the foam, that's perfectly fine, just for the sheer fact that I need to make it right. That way I can use this as an actual plug, etc. But you can see the transformation. It does thin out really, really thin. So that's just the first coat, and that's got foam underneath it all the way around. Everything looks good. So I should be able to pop off the rear bumper here shortly. I want to be able to put on a couple more coats on this and get a little bit more rigidity to it so that I can actually be able to pop that off and know it's not going to crack. There's really not much rigidity in filler, Bondo, or whatever you want to call it per se. It's just not something that you use for rigidity. So you can see my line here. This is actually how high it's got to go in order to be uniform with the panel itself. So I'm going to have to add more. I'll bring it right up to the actual line that is desired, and I should be able to utilize the shape that I'm looking for. Everything has all been coated, all on the inside edge. I just got to body work it. And then I leave just enough for the inside lip so that I can actually form a part that will fit perfectly in here and flush with the outside of the door. That way it's a perfect part. And then I can pop that off. Car's been gutted, obviously. I like taking all the interior out just so it doesn't smell like a body shop. And the hardest thing to get out of the carpet is the body dust. So I hate doing that. The best thing to do is just remove it. It's really easy to do. Everything's all been coated inside here. Sorry guys, my nails are really long. I need to address that. Shop life is what it is. Leave a little bit of edge. You can see it's not up, excuse me, not flush. So I want to be able to put a part in here, and then I can snap that off. And then, yeah, it's pretty thin and whatnot, but once we actually get it on here, and then I get about 2-3 layers of fiberglass on here, I'll let it cure, we'll snap it off, and then we structurize the inside of it, because this is the shape that we're looking for, and the structure goes on the inside of the part. You don't want to build out, you'll lose your shape, etc. So it's kind of hard if you don't really understand what's going on, and I'm trying to leave everybody in suspense so that you get to see the process. A lot of people don't know how to do this, and I don't want to talk everybody's head off, so mainly I've been doing a lot of time lapse. I'm sorry for it, guys, and it's also hard to find music that's not copyrighted, etc., that YouTube will allow me to put on my channel. So here and there, you guys are just gonna have to deal with the music that I use, I guess. Hopefully you guys like the content, etc. I have got to do some more body work. Got to lay some more filler on here. There's 2 coats on here. They're pretty thin, enough to where if I touch this hard enough, I could crack it. So if you're wondering if this is like a gallon of Bondo on here, it's not. It's probably like I'm at the half a quart probably portion on there. There's really not much filler on there. Once you put it on and spread it all thin, it's really not a big deal. So we're just basically gonna get this all body worked, etc. I'm gonna run some tape along here just so I'm not sanding into the body and creating too much contrasting sand marks. Right now I wanna leave it shiny so that I can see the contour into my body part for now. I mean, obviously it doesn't matter if I sand that shininess, it's not a big deal. Just be, for the sheer fact that it's all going to get body worked later on anyways. We are changing the color of the car. that's why everything's all taken off. That's why we're going the extra route. You know, it is going to stay white, just not this white. It will be a Subaru OEM white. So I'm not going to give that away right now. Stay tuned for that. Yeah, I guess just I'm going to get back to work. Really, in all reality, I'd rather just work and get this done than stop and explain things. But I know you guys want to know what's going on and why I'm doing things. All right, so next step is to move to the roof. I'll probably move to the antenna cover, move to the rain molding here. It runs across the top of the roof. And then probably move right to the end caps here for the door handles, get the door handles out, etc. Pretty easy. These caps come off. There's an Allen key on there. You loosen the Allen key, and then you can pull this out. As long as it's unhooked on the inside. Usually if it's got a key, it's hooked on the inside because you got to be able to lock with a key, so it is connected with a rod. So we'll disconnect the rod, and then we'll be able to pull all these handles out. You can still open the door when the handles are out. You can just reach in and kind of go dun-dun. It's pretty easy. I'll show you guys how to do that a little bit later, etc. But for now, it's just time to basically just further stripping the car, get it a little bit further and get it ready. Anything more as far as progress, as far as stripping this car and getting it, you know, further along for paint is for the better. You know, trying to get this done as fast as possible. I'm waiting to hear from the glass guy I called. He's going to be pulling the windshield. He'll be pulling the rear windows here, and he said that he'll be able to pull the rear hatch glass for me also as well. I don't do tape lines. I don't like doing that. I've never had a glass guy come to the shop here before, so this will be a first. Usually do it myself, and I'm tired of doing it myself. Also, it just takes so long, and what if I crack it and I'm an hour deep into doing it? I'm just going to be mad that I wasted an hour of my time. But you know, usually I'm dripping sweat and I hate it. So it's hard. I do it the old-fashioned way with piano wire just because I like to take my time and cut them out. But a lot of times it just takes a ton of time to get it done. So I'd rather just pay a professional. He can come here. He can put it on a stand for me, and I can put it away after I wrap it all up and store it away. It makes things a lot easier for me. I'd rather just pay to speed up the process. But with that said, wow, from this angle, this looks so good. Like, you guys picturing that white? Look at that. Like, even from like this kind of angle a little bit. Wow. This is gonna look so good. All right, well, I'm sure you guys are probably wondering if I've sprayed the other side yet. And I have not. I'm getting ready to actually start doing that. That's actually the reason why I have not pulled off this side skirt yet. Just for the sheer fact that I want to be able to know exactly how far I need to go, how much I need to articulate this area here so that it has that nice bubble effect like the other side. And it recreates the quarter panel that we are trying to accomplish. You know, that Vermont SportsCar Travis Pastrana look, you know, that matches these fenders here, matches those side skirts. Well, you can't see them, they're on the other side, but you understand what I'm saying. That car, that style, that's what we're trying to recreate here. It's never been done, especially with 18-inch wheels and, you know, 11-inch wide rubbers. I mean, to have tires that are 11-inch wide, 18-inch rims, I mean, the offset alone is huge. They're big. Actually, I got one over here still on here. We can take the tire cover off. They're big. I mean, look at that offset. Pretty wild, right? And there's no spacer. No spacer. Rotor to rim. Big boy. Big tire. Big 11-inch. Should definitely have some traction. We'll just say that. So I've got to finish up this side. Get a little bit more articulating done. I did notice that it does rub in this corner. I've already corrected the other side. So I've got to go ahead and I'm going to start from here and then kind of generate this line up in this area until eventually it ends to about here. And then all this will be all reworked and whatnot. That's what I'll end up doing. I got to pull this tire off, get all that done. And then all of this will get cut. What we'll do is, it's pretty easy. You just cut a line and you just remake the arc here. And then this front face will get cut off. And then you'll just take this flap and move it up right to that new line. And then it gets glued in place with the polyurethane, with the plastic repair that we've been using. And it'll look OEM. You'll never even know. So we're just going to take out that little Pac-Man section. So we'll come over here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So all of this is all the steel here has all been articulated up and rolled all in. I hand do all this by hand. I do it with a pair of duckbill pliers, etc. But this is where the bumper ends right here. So again, we're going to make 2 cuts. We're going to do one right on this edge here. And then you can see the blue line on the inside where my paint marker is. But right where this edge is here, we're going to cut right there on that. And then this whole face, just this face right here, would disappear. And then we'll just take this inner flap here, this OEM flap, and that just comes up and closes this gap. That's all we're going to do. Glue it in place, do a little plastic repair, bada bing, bada boom. Looks OEM, can't even tell. So that's the best fashion to do it, Make it look like you never even been there. At least in my opinion. So it is what it is, right? Yeah, I guess it's time for me to stop chatting, stop ranting, and get some more work done. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some work done. All right, got it all sanded out. Looks pretty good. And obviously it's all ready for another coat. So then again, I can sand out and put back on the floor. It's just how it goes. Well, now it's time to articulate a little bit more and basically I got to tighten up this. Articulate's the wrong word. I'm tired. Yeah, I'm going to start tightening all these gaps up a little bit more so that when I put the part on there, it obviously fits a lot better and I have a tighter gap and the transition isn't so much. So that's basically what I'm going to do. You can see here, I've already started to tighten this gap up. This one was extreme like this one. So obviously I'm going to have to pull off the bumper or get in here. I haven't even touched either of these seams at all, but that's going to have to get done, etc. But I have the idea of a good gap and a good seam. So at least I can get in there. I can seam it all up and I can block it out. And it should be good. It should be good to go, especially if I lay some fiberglass in there and I put the part on. I'll know exactly how much I need to add or take away, etc. But at least right now, the main concern right now is just getting the part done so that I can pop out these fiberglass panels and get them grafted onto this car. I mean, this looks amazing. This is just sanded out body filler. I just finished sanding it all out with 80 grit. Everything looks good. So I'm basically going to end it here, guys. I'm tired. Wicked tired. Long day. So hope you guys like what you see. Hope you like the content. Hit that like if you do. Hit that dislike if you don't. Either way, helps my channel grow. Helps my algorithm. So if you're that one guy giving me the thumbs down, I appreciate you. You're helping me out no matter if you think so or not. But also, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that. You want to make sure that you get those notifications, so you'll hit that bell down on the bottom right-hand corner. All that's going to do is just let you know when I have the next upload so that you can follow this build here and see the transition of where it's going to end up. Now, obviously, we're going to have to do the other side. Can't order it. I'm going to have to hand carve it again. But for now, I want to finish this body work up so that I can lay that fiberglass on there. Stamp this out. Till next time, guys. Have a good day.